Justice Gupta, you want to tell us that this selectivity that Mr. Dave is pointing out to, that even the police officer, Mr. Azad, is reluctantly accepting, but the fact is the selectivity begins with judgments. However, surely there should be consistency. If someone is arrested for 13 months and now even a prima facie case is not made out under UAPA.
No, I totally agree with what has been said both by Mr. Dushyant Dave and Mr. Azad, that there has to be, you see, but the issue is, Rajdeep, you must realize that the powers that be have succeeded. Why do they say they have succeeded? Because they have quelled dissent for 13 months. There would have been hundreds of other young protesters like Asif, like Natasha, or like Devangana, who would have come to the streets to protest. But when you put them behind bars, put a law like UAPA against them, then they feel scared of coming to the streets and protest. Everybody doesn't have the guts which these three kids have shown. Now,
so I take that it may have a chilling effect. Sir, just a minute. So sorry to intervene. The police action may have a chilling effect, but why do judicial officers accept the police version so readily?
I wish they did not. I'm not saying that. I'm not supporting. I was just coming to this part. One is the police action. And I just wanted to say on the police action, in my view, as far as the Delhi riots are concerned, this police action is flowing not from some officers at this lower level, but it is flowing from the highest level. Everybody knows what is being done and what is not being done.
Right.
Coming to the courts also, we have judges and judges. Recently, you had some judges who had been passed very good judgments, even at the district judge level and the session judge level. But I would feel that the courts have been straying away from the principles of upholding the liberty of the citizens, and rather than being courts to protect the rights of the citizens, have become courts which sort of go on with the executive, which I hope it changes with this judgment.
Very, very interesting. Indira Jaising, you are arguing a number of UAPA cases. At least you argued these cases in the Bhima Koregaon case, where the likes of Sudha Bhardwaj are in jail now. It'll be 3 years in August without even the trial starting. An eminent activist, lawyer, intellectual like her in jail. So I want to understand, will this have any impact on other UAPA cases in your view?
Yes, Rajdeep. And Stan Swami, by the way, about whom you've done a lot of
yes, a Catholic priest. Let this world know. Yes. Catholic priest who has spent his life working among the tribals, 84-year-old, arrested under UAPA, denied a straw sipper. But go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, Rajdeep. There is no doubt about the fact that this judgment will impact the hearing in the Bhima Koregaon case very positively. Because I've had a look at the documents, and the situation is identical. Even if you take what they're alleging against them to the hilt, there is no connection between the so-called alleged violence. First of all, there was no violence which followed the Elgar Parishad, and what they are now defining as terrorism, as an unlawful activity. Rajdeep, I'll tell you what the real problem is. You asked a question, are the police accountable to their political masters? You asked that question. Now, here's the answer. This government has made it a policy to use UAPA and sedition in every single case where there is even a whisper of violence, okay? And as I told you, violence and terrorism are not the same thing. Now, why does this happen? I want to tell you why it happens. Take this very case. What were they protesting against? CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Act. Now, the problem is this government conflates an objection to its policy to being an objection to the nation, okay? When I oppose the CAA, I do it because I disagree with it. It doesn't mean that I'm anti-national. Now, why are they invoking UAPA and sedition? Because they consider my objection to CAA to be anti-national. It is not. That is like saying, if you criticize the Prime Minister, you are anti-national. It's like saying the Prime Minister is India and India is the Prime Minister. It is this understanding which makes them invoke UAPA because they see it as an attack on the nation. They see it an attack on the sovereignty of the country. The law says very clearly it's only an attempt at asking people to secede from the territory of India, or an attack on sovereignty of India, or an attack on the defense of India, which is a terrorist act.
You make a very,
How,
very
I
strong
asked you,
point that
is a
being
protest to the
anti-CAA,
CAA a terrorist act?
being